Greetings, Royal Family. Welcome back to another review for Love and Hip Hop New York, aka sketch comedy show, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. I'm telling you, this show, all you can do is just laugh. Honestly, you can't take anything seriously. So let's have a little kiki. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you are new here, welcome to the Royal Family. If you are a returning Royal Family member, you already know how this thing goes. All right, so this episode of the Love and Hip Hop sketch comedy show, New York edition, opens up with what's his name? Jonathan and Ericka. So it looks like they picked up where they left off last week. I don't even remember. So Ericka, Sin, and Jonathan, are sitting down, and Jonathan is trying to talk sense into Ericka about being sensitive to Sin's feelings and not playing matchmaker with Joe and Tahiri. Who cares, right? But Ericka, a light bulb goes off, and she now understands that she should be more considerate towards Sin. So Sin goes on to say that what Joe and Tahiri does is not a concern of hers. She doesn't care. It never has been and it never will be. And she said that her concern is her son and the relationship that Joe and their son have. So I want to know, what the heck does the relationship with Joe and his son have to do with Ericka? Like, Sin, move around, girl, and just stop wasting my time. This scene was unnecessary. We move on to Yandy. Yandy, she's playing with the kids. She's out. She's talking about being a single mother and, managing career. Mendices is still in jail, so she's missing him, So she gets a phone call from him, and he is behind bars, for those of you who are not aware. And he tells her that he is getting a release date. So, and of course, Yandy is so happy. I don't even know how long he's been locked up this time, because he was locked up before, came out and went back to jail. Anyway, we move along to Jeneskee, okay? Rich's new client, his new artist. So Rich is telling her that she needs to pretty much get rid of Phresher, okay? He can't have this drama around. He set up a photo shoot for her, so she's in the photo shoot, and he has a record executive there, and he did say that he liked the showcase, but there was a little bit of drama afterwards. Now, Rich made a good point, even though Jeneskee was not the one that initiated that drama, right? From far away, you can't really tell, and if you're putting your money up for this particular artist or to invest in a project, you don't really care who started it. You just know that there's drama surrounding this artist. So I can dig that. I can dig that. So Rich invited Phresher to this photo shoot that he set up so that Jeneskee can basically tell him to kick rocks and he can't come around, because Rich is working with her and he's not trying to mess up the money that he doesn't have that he is investing into Jeneskee. So Phresher, he arrives, and Jeneskee is going off. They're going back and forth, and she's telling him, you don't do anything for me, blah, blah, blah. Now, Rich is standing there listening to their conversation, and it should have been done in private, but Rich wants attention. He has to get as much camera time as possible. So whatever. So he's just standing there watching and listening to them argue. Phresher, he wishes her luck. He wishes Jeneskee luck, and he storms out. Now he is stressing because he has to find new talent, as he says. So I guess he was banking, putting all his eggs in one basket as it pertains to Jeneskee, which I don't understand, because you weren't doing anything with her. So you were just pretty much wasting your time and hers. So how could you have to find new talent? So she was the only artist that you were working with? Anyway, we move on to Safaree and Ericka. So he's doing a photo shoot for his new EP. And I must say, Safaree looked real fresh and fine. He did. The cover that he chose, the photo that he chose, does look good. He's a fresh, pretty boy type of dude. So Tahiri, she shows up. Ericka is there. Tahiri, she shows up. And Ericka is pretty much telling her about the meeting that she had with Sin and Jonathan. And Tahiri says that she doesn't want to be labeled a bad guy. You could tell she really doesn't care about Sin and Ericka having this little, kumbaya moment. She doesn't care. She could care less. And I just feel like they're really forcing this storyline with Tahiri and Joe. Like Joe, I think he was in a split of a scene this episode. It's just like, Tahiri, girl, give it up. What do you have going on? Let's see what you got going on in your life, Tahiri. Like this Joe and you storyline, it's just whack. Speaking of whack, we move on to Phresher. Now, he's in his feelings because, Jeneskee no longer is working with him. Jeneskee dumped him. And he's meeting up with his girlfriend, right? And he's trying to vent to her about him being like bummed out about Jeneskee dumping him, and he has to find new talent. And she tells him that he's out here looking like a clown. Like, she calls him a clown. She has her hand in his face. She's just acting real aggressive towards him. So she just totally bypasses what he says about Jeneskee no longer working with him and he has to find new talent. And she asks him about this girl named Jada. This girl, Jada, has been blowing up her DMs and Jen's DMs and telling her things about Phresher. And she's saying that Phresher owes her money. And I'm just like, oh my God, here we go. She says that Phresher owes her $60,000, not $6,000, unless I heard wrong, $60,000. And what? Did you give him $60,000? Like what? $60,000 for Love and Hip Hop? Like people who are on Love. I don't get it, but I guess 60,000 sounds, interesting, I guess. Anyway, so he's begging Jen to come home. He's like, baby, please, I want to come home. And, I want to come home. She's calling him a clown. And she's just talking to this man all types of crazy, pointing in his face. And she's just talking to him like he is trash. Like, she is gross. Like, she's a bozo, like I said before. Up next, Yandy and Judy. Judy is Mendeecees's mom. So Yandy decides to take her mother-in-law out shopping, and she's telling Judy that, Mendeecees is going to be coming home soon. He's going to be getting a release date. So she's excited. She's happy. Here's the thing. So he wouldn't call his mama and let his mama know first. Oh, but then again, it's for a scene, right? Anyway, so Yandy at this point, now she's worried about the living arrangements as far as Mendeecees is concerned. When he gets home, she's concerned because her foster daughter may not be able to stay in the house with Mendeecees, being that Mendeecees is a convicted felon. He has a record. So Judy is just like, oh, so my son's going to have to find somewhere else to live. But it's your son, Judy. He can't crash with you. What do you got going on? He can't come stay with you. I'm just saying, and Yandy, I don't think Yandy thought this through because you didn't realize that Mendeecees at some point was going to come out of jail. And also another thing is you two are married, right? And you decide to adopt a foster child. I mean, is that something that you discussed with your husband? That's what we do as spouses. Like, I would be a little bit perturbed if my husband decided to adopt a child and, not let me know about it or, didn't get my opinion. Who knows? Maybe he agreed. But this whole living arrangement situation thing, Yandy said that she, of course, is not going to put Mendeecees out. So that only leaves one other person. But she says she has to do her research because she is not sure. But I'm pretty certain that sounds about right. That sounds about right. You don't want a foster child in the home with a convicted felon. Yandy, figure it out, girl. That's messy. Like, that's real messy. That's messy, Yandy, as Kimbella would say. So we move on to Jen and Jada. Remember, Jen is Phresher's girlfriend since the 6th grade. So they're meeting up, and Jen basically wants to know if Jada was messing with Phresher. Jada don't care nothing about that. Jada wants her money, okay? Run me my Skrilla. So Jen says that she knows what kind of man that she has, and that's why she's asking Jada. She wants to get to the bottom of this. My whole thing is, if you know what kind of man you have, why are you arranging meetings and wasting people's time, But again, I guess for a scene. So Jada says that she has proof that Phresher was spending... he was spending the money that he should have been paying her or that he owes her to pay off his debt. So Jen's rebuttal to this is, your approach was way off. And because how it goes is Jada, she DM'd Jen. And I guess Jen had some pictures up of when she got work done to her body. And Jen said basically, you got your body done with my money. You know what I mean? You out here getting your body done, and Phresher has like unsettled debt, and these chicks, they're just crazy. So Jada, she pulls out receipts. She has like paperwork, and it's showing, I guess, text messages where Phresher is telling Jada that he loves her. He loved her all along. And she also pulls out what seems to be some sort of expense sheet, because she mentions something about $10,000, and then she tells Jen, you probably never even held $10,000. You don't know what $10,000 looks like or smells like. And Jen, now she has the proof in her hand. Jen's rebuttal is, you want to be me. I'm like, what? Stick to the script, sweetie. That's not what you were supposed to say. That's not the appropriate rebuttal for this girl showing you receipts that your man is texting her he loves her, and she has proof that he owes her money. Wrong rebuttal. Stick to the script. Anyway, Jen, you cannot be this simple. Like, you can't be this simple. Like, this girl literally is showing you messages that your man is sending you, and you say she wants to be you. No, she don't want to be you. She want her money. So, of course, Jen, she wants to fight. And again, you said you know what kind of man that you have, so why are you mad that things are going the exact way that you expected? Like, he's doing things that you expect him to do, and you're mad. Make it make sense. At this point, look, I was watching and I'm like, where's Cousin Chrissy? Because her shenanigans are far more entertaining than this gutter snipe mess. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So anyway, Jen calls her a clout chaser. I'm like, no, girl, Jada's not a clout chaser. Like, your man doesn't have any clout. Like, he doesn't even have you know what I'm saying? He doesn't even have a capital C. What clout? She calls her a groupie. She's a clout chaser. Production is there to separate them. And it was just, they could have done better. They could have given me more. Anyway, so we move on to the bachelor/bachelorette party that Safaree and Ericka is having. So earlier in the episode, Rich and Safaree met up in the gym, and Rich is on this apology tour. He wants to right his wrongs with everyone. So he just told Safaree, like, look, I apologize, and hopefully Ericka can accept my apology too. And in a nutshell, Safaree told him, yeah, I doubt that that's going to happen. So Safaree ended up inviting Rich to his bachelor party without Ericka's permission. So you know how this is going to go. So Ericka, she's having fun, and then she gets noticed that Rich is over on the other side, because it looks like it's in the same building but on two separate sides. So her girls, Ericka and her girls come to Safaree's side of the bachelor party and check him about Rich, being in attendance. Now, this is like music to Rich's ears, because he loves attention, and it seems to me that he wants to get under Ericka's skin. Like, it makes him feel good to know that she still gets upset at the mere mention of his name or even seeing him. So to keep the peace, he decides to leave. Now, I don't know what type of bachelor party it is that Safaree was having. It was just a whole bunch of guys standing around. Joe Budden said that, this is boring. They're all just standing around, like, drinking out of red Solo cups. And Ericka's bachelorette party is lit, okay? They got lights. They got, dollar bills being thrown everywhere. You know what I mean? So whatever. Ericka was behind that. She didn't want Safaree having any fun whatsoever. Anyway, so after Rich leaves, Ericka, she's upset as usual. So they go in the bathroom, and you can kind of hear them arguing. She's yelling and being dramatic, and she storms out crying, and she calls Safaree a herb. Like, she's like, you need to stop acting like a herb. And for those of you who don't know what that means, that's like up north slang, like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut type slang. I'm pretty sure other areas of the world use that word too. But that's equivalent to calling him the B word. Like, she talks to him real crazy, and he just allows it. It's just whack. So I'm saying to myself, that's it. That's how they end the episode. So next week, is the wedding. They're going to show footage from the wedding. You know, Mona was not going to miss out on that. And you see Safaree having like a breakdown. Like he's crying and he's the day of the wedding. He said everybody's supposed to be happy and he's just having a nervous breakdown because he's ticked off. Cousin Chrissy will be back next week. Thank goodness. And I'm going to be honest. I've learned to appreciate her foolishness and her shenanigans because the Jen situation with Phresher, it's just too much and it's whack. It's totally whack. So I look forward to seeing Chrissy next week. What else are we going to see? I don't know. We'll just have to wait till next week. So that wasn't much of anything. That was the long and short of it. So now I am going to go and do Love and Hip Hop Miami. Pray for me, royal family. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If you rocked out with me until this long, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Like this video if you liked it. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you thought. I mean, this episode really wasn't giving much, but let's just have a little bit of fun dialogue in the comments section. Respectfully, as always. So, royal family, keep your notifications on because I'll be back real soon. Until next time, peace.